Are we on now?
I think so.
You're live. You have 4 minutes until 7.
Oh, okay, because,
All of the participants have not arrived.
okay, I'm taking my video off. There we go. You know what, when I stop my video, it doesn't even leave my name box up there either.
Well, that might be what you see, but what I see is that your box remains.
Oh, I wonder how I can correct that.
Your box is staying up.
Okay, I'm going to stop the video.
Yeah.
My box disappears.
But not on my screen.
Huh.
And I think that I think you're okay, Barb.
I would just like to be able to see it.
To see it yourself, I understand.
Yeah.
If we lose you, I'll text you.
Okay. I wonder if there's a way to fix it on the settings or something on my end.
Hello, people.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine.
Awesome. Oh. I like this new little setup. She got a new laptop. I like it a lot better. I can see you better.
Oh, I bet.
I like the layout too, Debbie, by the way. This is nice.
It works a lot better for the public as well. It has a lot of nice features. We're happy to be doing it.
Awesome.
Now I can hear Chris, but I don't see him on the screen.
That
Yeah,
might be, that's because I don't have my video on. All right,
Right.
hold on. There we go.
There you go.
Sorry. I didn't put my normal attire on.
We won't hold it against you.
It was like down 3 flights of stairs and I didn't feel like running down there.
Too much of a hike, huh?
It was, I just got done working out. It's nice being able to walk, being able to hike at night now, and the colors are just phenomenal up here in the mountain, up in Glenwood Forest, up on 45. I mean, all the mountain colors just at night hitting the sky, or the sun hitting down in the trees. It is just it's like paradise. It's
Wow.
absolutely like paradise.
Wow.
All right, you're at 7 o'clock.
All right.
Okay.
Do we have everybody that is Colin Stein on, but maybe doesn't have his video on that I can't see?
We have Tanner with us and Angie. Angie doesn't have her video, nor does does Tanner, but we don't have Colin. I did send him his invitation and he said he would attend. And I also do not see Laurel either.
Yeah, Laurel is, I expect her to attend.
Okay.
Can I ask the rest of you, do you all see boxes when they are not, when the video is not turned on?
Yeah. And their name is in the box.
Yeah, mine is somehow lost that.
But I'll tell you that on the YouTube, if you don't have your video on, it doesn't show you. So when you're talking, you may want to make sure that you do put it on.
I'll have it on. I just wish I knew what to do to fix that on my end.
Well, You're doing okay, Barb, and just give me a little time to look into that. Maybe we can address it next week.
Okay.
But I promise you, if you drop away, I will get in touch with you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting for Laurel, I think we can go ahead and get started. What's 7:01 p.m. This Zoom meeting, I actually don't have the new language.
Do you want me to read the opening statement?
Yeah, or you or Deb, because I understand that language has changed.
Are you good, Barb?
Yeah. This is the regular meeting of the Water Commission for April 21st, 2021. It is a Zoom meeting until further notice. The Corporation of Harpers Ferry governing and deliberative bodies will hold its meeting and or hearings virtually via Zoom webinar, which provides for public participation during a public comment period when applicable and when posted on the agenda. Alternatively, the public may watch by YouTube, video live stream, or listen by telephone. These options comply with the West Virginia Open Governmental Meetings Act. I think that's all I need to say.
Okay. I guess first order of business is the approval of minutes, and there should be several.
May I make a suggestion here?
Sure.
That unless there are individual corrections or additions, we could group them and vote on them as a whole, or we could, if there are individual additions or corrections, we could pull those and vote on them individually. Otherwise, we could take each one by one.
I
Yeah,
prefer to do it as expeditiously as possible. Christy's got her hand up.
yeah. I made a few changes here and there, and I did it using track changes. Could you please add recording after your name every time you're recording on all the minutes? That's a comment for all the minutes that you did.
Okay.
And yes, okay, let me go to the next one. Okay, nothing additional on February. Next one is July. Oh, there's, when Chris Steyer became the superintendent, you spelled his name with an extra letter. So if you could correct the spelling of his name, I think that starts in August, yeah. So his name is S-T-Y-E-R, and it's 2 times, shows up 2 times in August.
Mhm.
And it shows up one time in September, and also in September, we need to say when we left executive session.
Okay.
That's it, that change, we need to have a, normally we're supposed to give a time when we come out, right, Barbara?
Yes. Mhm.
And also we're supposed to say when we went in too, but that isn't noted either. Now on the other 2 agendas, another 2 minutes. Let's see, February. Laurel Drake, I'd like to have her put recording after her name. And in parentheses, and then Kenneth, it's not Kevin, it's Kenneth Mitchell at the very last paragraph. And then on the March. Again, recording after Barbara Hume's name. And then it says, I move to increase the pay for Sean Bainey, who received his class 1 operator's license, down there near the end. We need to know who seconded it. And I believe a motion was approved unanimously.
It was, yes.
So do you know
So
who second it?
Who among the Water Commission members were present at that meeting?
Bill seconded it.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, that's all the changes, and otherwise I'm okay with the recommending approval of all the minutes.
Well, I have one correction
All
that
right,
I'd like to suggest, and that's for the August 19th minutes. You come down to where the heading is the Water System Improvement Project. And in the second paragraph, in the middle of that paragraph, it starts with the word, or there's starting with the word funding for the project. It should be funding. I think we can clarify that sentence a little bit more by saying funding for the project from the USDA will not be available. Okay, I have to find it myself. Funding for the project from the USDA will not be available to us. We are eligible for a lower interest rate.
Okay.
Okay. I think that was, let me double check that. If I can get that open. All right. Right, preceding the word funding was while additional funding for the project. While additional funding from the USDA will not be available to us, we are eligible for a lower interest rate. And I think that's all you need to say there in that paragraph. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, that's all I had.
Anybody else?
I would like to just say that I haven't had time to review these minutes that you sent out, Bill, and I want to wait on approving the ones you sent out if you don't mind, just to wait another month or till the next meeting, hopefully. Maybe in case we meet before then.
Are there any objections? I don't have a problem with that. They'll in the interim, they're going to get adjusted. Okay. So for the minutes that are not the ones that Laurel has taken, we can go ahead and approve those, correct? Do I hear a motion to, and I don't remember which month that is. Is that February?
The ones I sent out were February. Barbara sent out March's.
So I
Okay.
think we can approve those two.
Right. So do I hear a motion to approve February and March 2021 minutes?
Christy,
make-
you're muted.
I believe I sent my comments already to Laurel. Kevin, it's Kenneth, not Kevin, Mitchell, and whoever's doing the minutes needs to put recording after their name.
Right. We got all that.
Yeah,
I think we're at the point. Do we have a motion to approve
yes,
those two as amended?
yes. I
Okay.
so move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. For my chair's report, I'd like to, if nobody has any objection, because Tanner Haight is here to speak to us, and thematically he is appropriately placed under source water protection, but in the interest of his time, I would offer him the opportunity to go ahead and speak now if he would like.
Bill, thanks so much. I just turned on the video. I'll try to keep it brief, but we do have several items here. I'd sent you some items to go into the agenda packet. I don't have the link to that, so I won't be able to kind of help guide you all through the packet agenda pages. But in general, there were three outcomes that I was hoping to achieve by presenting tonight. Is first, just to follow up on last month's meeting to just kind of refresh and give just a 30 to 60 second overview of the source water communities designation program that West Virginia Rivers is building towards, to dive into one component of that designation program, which is the idea of doing 2 projects this calendar year with Harpers Ferry Water Commission and the community, and then talk about next steps being to look at some sample project ideas that Christy and I developed last month or a few weeks ago, to talk about drinking water celebration week that's coming up in early May. And then also to just kind of solidify, if there is hopefully a source water champion there from Harpers Ferry that we can continue these conversations with, someone that would raise their hand like Christy did last month to kind of keep those conversations moving forward. It's not a conversation West Virginia Rivers alone can carry. We need that partnership with Harpers Ferry. So that's our hope. So some of the pieces of information we put into the packet agenda. The first was just a quick overview, same thing as last month, what that source water communities designation program looks like. Similar to Tree City USA, there would just be some standards for you all to meet. Our goal is that by the end of the 2021 calendar year, Harpers Ferry Water Commission will have met the 4 standards to become one of the first communities in the state to receive that designation. And one of the components of that is to complete 2 projects per year, source water protection projects, like we talked about last month. Just to provide clarification, like I did when I met with Christy, our funding comes through DEP. So what makes a project fundable is that it's identified as both in the source water protection plan for Harpers Ferry and the Elks Run watershed-based plan. So we provided a PDF matrix that shows where there's overlap. So we can answer questions on that if that's helpful, but we just wanted to provide that those are the types of things that we know are definitely fundable with the funding we have. Like we talked about last time for Harpers Ferry, for those 2 projects, we have about $7,000 in funding available for you all for source water protection projects to meet this designation standards. So another thing that you might see in your packet agenda is a list of project ideas that Chrissy and I put together. Do you all have that list of potential project ideas?
I don't know where it would be. If it came in an email, it's probably gotten lost in an onslaught.
Oh, I sent it to be put into the packet agenda, but that's okay if it's not. And that's perfectly fine. I can just talk us through them. The big thing with them not being, it's the silver lining is if they're not in the packet agenda, it helps reaffirm the fact that they are just ideas that Christy and I, we're talking about. And it would really take the full commission to say, yeah, that sounds like a good direction for how maybe those funds could be spent. But just to run down really quickly through those, some examples. We talked to you all a few months ago, maybe about 3 or 4 months ago. We did a 3-acre riparian forest buffer at the headwaters of the Elks Run at Gatview Farm. So some examples would be doing some education and outreach with that landowner, or perhaps with the neighboring school, TA Lowry, using some of the funds to work with someone like Potomac Valley Audubon Society for some youth education, which is identified in the source water protection plan and watershed-based plan. The other thing that West Virginia Rivers did last year that I think would be exciting to replicate again is some septic pumpings. We could use some of these funds for septic pumping in the watershed, perhaps focusing it on within the zones of critical concern around the Elks Run, and maybe trying to find a way to make it really equitable and trying to steer those funds towards the landowners that maybe are low income that would really need that support the most. And then also if there's some funds, maybe some opportunity to create a video that helps answer the question of what is a drinking water protection area and why is this work important? So we have a kind of a loose list of project ideas. Again, the idea being that Harper's Ferry with these funds could achieve over this year at least 2 of those in order to meet that standard towards the designation program. So I'm happy to answer questions on those. I just want to wrap up with the next 2 things coming up would be one of the standards is also, in addition to projects, is celebrating Drinking Water Week. National Drinking Water Week is coming up in about 2 weeks, beginning May 2nd. West Virginia Rivers Coalition sent you all, and maybe Barbara would be the best person to steer this through, but one of the standards we have is that, just like with Tree City USA, that there'd be a mayoral proclamation for Drinking Water Protection Week. So we sent you a template. If you could find a way, if it's of interest still to the commission to meet this designation program standard, that you could maybe get that to, is it still?
Yeah, I have time to get it on I do have time to get it on the May agenda for the town council.
Do you have that in your email still, Barbara? Would you like me to send it to you again?
Yeah, do so. And
Okay.
I'm making a note right now. Also,
I'll email that to you right when we close out, but all he has to do is put his name on it.
yeah,
So it shouldn't be hard. And then the idea would be, hopefully you would maybe share that on social media. We're still in the pandemic, so we're not pushing big in-person events or anything, but if you could share on social media. The other thing I'll send you all next week on probably Monday is West Virginia Rivers has created a bunch of social media friendly posts for Drinking Water Week that you could select some of those and share with your mayoral proclamation on social media. And we understand for where we're at still in the pandemic that's still really good for this year. So Drinking Water Week is coming up. Barbara, if you could get that to the mayor when I send it to you and help move that through, and then whoever that would be for the commission, if it's maybe also staff. This is not me telling people what to do. I'm just trying to walk through what, of course, would need to be done. But if staff would maybe post on Facebook some of those infographics and things we'll be creating, that would be good. And then again, we'll answer some questions tonight that you all hopefully have. But again, what we would need, it's not what we hope for, it's what we would need is still whoever that would be, either at the staff level or at the commission level, to carry these conversations forward with West Virginia Rivers. So if we said, let's keep these conversations, especially on the projects going in May, for example, who would that be? And that would be the last place I would want to get to tonight. But again, maybe it would be a good place to pause, since that was a lot of me talking, and just answer, what questions do you all have? Maybe starting first with Christy, who I met with, if I miss anything from when we talked recently about those project ideas.
Nope, you covered it.
Okay, I know that was really fast. I want to make sure I preserve your all's time for questions. So definitely, what questions are there that I can clarify on any of that?
I just, let's see. I'd like to be sure that we are going to be moving forward on this designation.
Mm-hmm.
Do we feel we can add that to our plate, Christy?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been doing the Tree City USA things, and you get in this rhythm where you just kind of, you do the proclamation, you throw it in the folder to prove later that you did the proclamation, and you do all this stuff. It's just kind of there.
And get it up on Facebook.
And then you get the money that you get to do something with.
And there might be a good partnership between the tree committee and this project, especially if it involves some riparian buffering.
Well, our tree committee can't, the money that we
Can't go outside of the town.
Yeah, for Tree City USA can't, I don't think it can go outside the town.
Okay.
Well, let me put it this way, our matching grant has to be within the town limits, but.
I see. Okay.
And I'm not willing to take on more tree stuff.
But Barbara, I'm glad you brought up that question. I want to make sure I'm clear. I hope I wasn't conveying that this was a foregone conclusion, but just kind of following up from last month and carrying that conversation forward with Christy, with, of course, the hope that you all do have that interest. But it's a good point to make sure we clarify that, to make sure this is the direction you all want to continue on over the course of this year, to reach that standard like we talked about last month.
Would one of the things count youth education with T.H. Lowry? I'd like to direct to Chris Steyer. What about would it be, we're starting a project and it's probably not a good time to invite any students on a water sampling event or something like that?
Well, I just found out that we're getting, it looks like they may be moving forward on the project starting as early as next week. So my area is under construction.
At the plant, yeah,
At
it'll
the
be under
plant.
construction for
Quite some time.
quite some time, so
And-
that would
and-
present,
and, yeah, we're talking hard hat material.
yeah,
So I don't think safety wise that right now is a good time for anybody to be at the.
yeah, okay.
I'll know, and as it goes along, I'll know what we can and can't do.
Mhm.
So I'm not ruling out entirely, but it's, we're gonna have
It's
a lot
gonna
of
be a big.
material and back, cranes and dangerous equipment around. So
Yeah, yep, okay.
And the goal here, I think what we're starting to look into, Barbara, is how to find ways to engage both the community, which could be, a nonprofit like Audubon Society in that example, and students at TA Lowry, along with the water utility. Again, if that's staff or the commission, whoever that would be, or someone from the city, to where we're really making that connection and building that community engagement piece into this. So you're asking the right questions. I just wanted to make sure I recognize that for you. And we don't have to have all the answers tonight, even with the sample project ideas that I kind of read through quickly. Those were just kind of from a first brainstorming session. They might evolve over this year. The most important thing is knowing if this is a direction you want to go, is just having, on my end, knowing who I'm going to continue that conversation with, like who will be that person to kind of continue this conversation with, for example, in May, to keep fleshing out these project ideas and start moving towards, starting to get some things happening.
Okay.
I have a quick question. Tanner, what do you mean by the year? You mean April to April, or do you mean?
In this case, it'll be calendar year. Our hope is that we can get a few communities across the state, Harpers Ferry being one of them, to be the first in the state to achieve this designation, meet the four standards to achieve this source water protection community designation, and that we would be recognizing Harpers Ferry for their work in 2021 during Drinking Water Week of 2022. So essentially May of 2022, we want to be able to celebrate you all looking back on this calendar year and say, you all did it. You are one of the first in the state, and we're going to, hopefully build out others that can do the same thing. So calendar year.
that would be awesome.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, and Chris, I do, like Barbara said, I would really look forward to working with you more like we did with Brandon in the last few months that he was there. We were working with him a little bit more on a couple of things. And what else can I answer for you all tonight? I think my kind of hanging question is still there, but is there any other questions I can answer for you all while I'm here tonight?
What is the trigger for this designation program? Is it first getting the mayoral proclamation? Is it getting a couple of projects done and verifying that in some way? Is there?
So so there's 4 standards: projects, having an active protection team, having a budget for source water protection, and then also a commitment to celebrating Drinking Water Week. The first 3 can happen anytime throughout the year. The only one that's timely, which is why I'm really bringing it up tonight, is that celebration of Drinking Water Week, because it's happening in just a few weeks from now.
Well, I think that would be
That's the
delightful.
first step.
I think that would be delightful to do whether or not this designation
Yes.
it comes through. Don't you think, Chris? So,
Yeah.
Drinking Water Week.
Well, does the proclamation say when Drinking Water Week is though? Because that's how the Tree City USA works.
It does. It does. And I'd sent that ahead of time, so I apologize that I wasn't able to get that into the packet agenda. But I'll be sending it to you all tonight. And it's very similar. It's a proclamation, whereas water is a valuable natural resource, et cetera. And then it has that, and it just will have a place right at the bottom for the mayor to sign. So it should be pretty easy if you can get onto the council agenda, Barbara, to move that. So that's, in terms of trigger, that would be the one that's like the first thing that should be done, just because it's timely.
Okay.
Between now and your next meeting. Christy?
Does it require council action? Because the Tree City USA one does not.
Well, to get a mayoral proclamation, probably so, and we would want to have the council.
Well, when we started out with the Arbor Day, yeah, we did. We had the council would get it, but then it was always this day in April, this at noon, this day in April at noon, and it was not. I mean, it becomes I don't know. It's automatic. It's not like something.
Well, I think
else.
we need to get that blessed at the council meeting. The proclamation. We can.
Okay.
I think.
Just saying, he did not take for the last 2 or 3 years, he has not taken that to the council. The tree one.
Okay. Well, I think it would be a good idea to do so. Close that loop this time at least. So Tanner, I'll be looking for it and I'll be getting it on the agenda and talking to the mayor and make sure we can get his signature.
Would it be best for you all to just take care of, like, you all are doing a lot of projects, and I want to be mindful of that, to just do between now and next meeting, to just do that. And then I'll maybe try to just come back at your next meeting in May to talk on projects and keep working towards that. Would that be the best for you all?
That would probably be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to be mindful of everything else you all are doing and work with you on that. So let's aim for that. We'll do Drinking Water Week. I'll get that to you right now, Barbara, and I'll CC everyone so that you all have that. And then we'll come back in May to keep talking on projects.
That'll keep us inspired.
That'll keep us moving without hopefully overburdening you all at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, and will you be sending me the infographics for Drinking Water Week? Month?
I will on Monday, on the 26th.
Okay,
So I'll get that to you very soon. We just haven't finalized those yet.
oh, okay, okay.
And it's a big, just so you know, it'll be a big file with a lot of different images. And the idea is just select whichever ones you like and share as many as you want to. There's no requirement. It's just kind of, we wanted to make that easy for you all to have some resources to easily post in.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Do we want to make a motion to recommend to the town council to ask the mayor to declare, to make a proclamation about Drinking Water Week?
Sure, might as well. I'll move that we ask the mayor to sign the proclamation that the council, I assume, accepts him to sign. Is that how it'd be worded, Barbara?
For the recommends a mayoral proclamation to celebrate National Drinking Water Week.
Okay.
Second. All those in favor?
All right.
All those opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being patient with us as we.
You all are leading the way, in my opinion. So I'm happy to help you all out. So I'll be back in May. And if you need anything in the meantime, of course, you know how to reach me.
All right, thanks, Tanner.
Bye-bye.
I have one point of information for Tanner. Oh, well.
I'm still here. Go ahead. Sorry, Colin.
So Mike, in one of the previous meetings this winter, I heard that the Water Commission often puts inserts in with their bills. And I was wondering if some of the things that you've prepared would be appropriate to go in with those bills. Not that it needs to go out with the next bill, but it might be something that the committee would want to think about on future bills.
Angie, when is the next billing scheduled to go out?
Well, May 1st is when the bills will go out, but that is, let's see, that's a Saturday. So it will be May 3
When
is
your
when the actual bills will go out. I will have them processed and ready to go to the bank on the 27th, in the afternoon of the 27th.
Don't we have the consumer confidence report?
Oh, yeah, we have to put that in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not received that.
Well, I was gonna, yeah, that's in my report.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll work it out some way or another. If we have the infographics, if not, maybe we can generally celebrate drinking water in some generic way in a billing, if not in May, in June.
Well, yeah, I sent you guys a consumer confidence report as well. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
okay. Colin, that was a good question.
All right.
Yeah, we'd like to say, Colin, we have put in stuff that we've gotten from Tanner on this.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, this past month, we had the billing was with the safe water. What was it, Angie?
I forget the title of it, but it was about safe drinking water.
It
So we
was,
kind of celebrated early.
yeah, it was West Virginia Rivers.
That was it. Yes.
Yeah,
It's always a good time to celebrate drinking water.
yeah.
It's always good.
I agree with that completely. All right. Anything else for Tanner? All right. Thank you, sir. You have a good night. All right. Angie, you're up. Water clerk.
All right. Good evening, everyone. So for the March bills, we actually had 8 customers that were terminated for non-payment. 1 moved out without formally terminating service. But then that owner, once they found out that they had moved, reinstated the service at that at that location. So everyone except one other one that is currently vacant, they've all been turned back on. The one that is currently vacant, they found a massive leak about 2 months ago, and they are working to get that repaired. It is my understanding in a home that just sits on dirt, and it was under the kitchen floor. So it's going to be quite the undertaking to get that repaired, but they are off until they notify us otherwise.
Is anyone, I missed whether anyone is currently living there?
No.
Oh, okay, that's the vacant one.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the owner is responsible for that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Will they
Yes. And then there was a second location where the tenant moved out without notifying anyone. And then the property owner, once they found out, then they went ahead and had the service turned back on in their name so that they could get it cleaned up and that sort of thing.
Was there the tenants who abandoned, did they leave behind an unpaid water bill?
Oh, yes.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yes, that's why they were terminated for water service, but I don't know how long it had been since they had vacated the property, and I don't know that the owner really knew either.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Did the owner collect a security deposit that might help to pay the bill?
all of our customers that apply for service, they do have to pay a security deposit for water and for sewer. And so that does absorb some of the cost, but unfortunately, nowhere near all of the cost. And as far as the security, deposit for the tenants renting, that I'm not sure of them. And let's see, then the billing insert that is coming up for the May bill. You say that you want to put in the customer confidence report. So I'll put that in.
Okay.
That'll go in with the May billing. So we have that insert. I wasn't sure yet if that's what had been decided or not. So that's
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, but I was kind of curious. I had it in the report to ask you guys if you wanted to be either in the as the newspaper or a flyer.
Oh, definitely the flyer. It
Okay.
more accurately reaches all of our customers.
I agree, and the one that I picked out is I like it. It's more detailed. I had two of them to choose from, and I worked with West Virginia Rural Water Association, and they did a more detailed one for us. So anyway, that's all I got.
So yeah, so we'll be putting the CCR in with the May bills, and then I guess for the under new business for discussion and action on proposed for the West Virginia Harpers Ferry Waterworks social media presence. I proposed this. I asked a couple months ago. Unfortunately, last month I wasn't able to attend the meeting, but a couple of months ago, I asked if we could actually have a Harpers Ferry Waterworks Facebook page and or Twitter or something, some type of social media platform where we can actually notify all of our customers of everything that's going on at Harpers Ferry Waterworks. Definitely with the new project coming up, anything that has to do with that, billing information, or it could just be a forum where people could ask questions
Right.
if that they want to ask, and we could answer them. And I think that would be something that would be really beneficial for my customers. It would be beneficial for us, and it would be a way to really open up communication for everyone.
I think
So
that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I'm proposing that to the Water Commission, that whatever you all would like to do, I just think that would be a really great help for everybody.
Do you see yourself as being the kind of the person in charge of the Facebook? I don't know anything about Facebook, but and how they do it and all that stuff. But would there not have to be somebody to oversee that?
There would, yes, there would have to be an administrator for sure. I am not sure what the legalities, if any, there are. I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind posting or taking care of it if that's allowable. But for example, if I do a robocall for a water outage, I would love to be able to just, put a post on Facebook or on Twitter and say, I'm not as familiar with Twitter as I am Facebook. Don't get me wrong. But the last time I had to send out an automated robocall, I actually, asked one of my customers. We were chatting about it, and I said, well, if you have Facebook, I said, go on Facebook and just, let your neighbors know that way. And she's like, oh, that's a really great idea. So, I mean, like I said, if it's allowable, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing that. I would just use it as another informational tool.
Yeah,
hmm
well.
But you all just let me know what you want to do.
Deb has her hand up.
I was just gonna say that in comparison to how we run the Facebook page for the town hall, and since the corporation owns the waterworks, I have a feeling probably we could do something similar where Kevin probably sets it up, but then I'm on as an administrator, so you can be on as an administrator, and then you can have control over some communication. And it shouldn't be terribly difficult to do. We have a logo, right? And
Right.
Really, it's not too tough once you get that going.
I think it's a good idea. I think a little planning before we launch is advisable, and considering how we're going to manage those communications, because the danger of that is it's a great way to communicate, but we have to be committed to the communicating.
You will get back and forth.
Yeah, if we don't pay attention to it regularly, if we're not committed to being responsive in that forum, it backfires. And so, and we also have to be, careful. Unlike, a lot of people are very not careful on their personal Facebooks and Twitters, but we have to sort of agree on some parameters and things like that. But I think it's stepping into the modern age, and it's a great way that, to easily disseminate information and form a relationship with our customer base and our constituency that we've not had before. So I think it's great. It's a good idea. Thank you, Angie. Do we need, because the town council owns the waterworks, and because they have the control of the town site, and we'd sort of be a subsidiary of that, do we need to request any sort of permission or guidance from the town council?
I think you're gonna want to do that. Yeah.
Okay. I move that we recommend to the town council to permit the waterworks to create its own Facebook presence and other social media as needed to enhance communication with the customers of the waterworks.
I'll second that.
Okay, what was the motion again? How did you phrase that?
Hope you got it, Laurel. Yeah, I don't think I could redo that.
Laurel, could you?
I heard a motion to ask the town council to permit the water commission and to set up a waterworks Facebook account that would be administered by several people, including Angie and Debbie and Kevin.
Okay. I moved that we recommend to the town council to permit the waterworks to have its own Facebook page and other social media as needed to enhance communication with its customer base, period.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
Okay, I'll see about getting that on the council agenda as well.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. That's kind of exciting. I think properly used, I think that will help us a lot.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot that we do that that people just don't know about, and I think it would be a good way to communicate. New business discussion and action, if necessary, on the National Park Service meter and billing issue. Who wants to start on this? Do we know where we are at this point? Chris, you're muted.
Thank you. Angie, I don't know if you, I'll start. So I filled out an incident report. We basically, I think everybody's been updated on this. Is that correct? I mean, do we have to go through a whole summary of exactly what's going on? You know, what has happened is we have.
Can I interrupt you? Is this something we're going to go into executive session for?
You know, that's, you know, is that something that we, because we're talking about a customer, so.
Yeah, I
would assume that we might have to.
I'm open to suggestion there, but
Let me see here.
the customer is a public entity, so
Let me
I'm
see
not-
if that cover, if West Virginia code allows that under its exceptions. Give me a moment, please. If we look upon this customer as an individual, we need to decide whether our discussion would constitute an unwarranted invasion of that customer's privacy, such as records, data, reports, recommendations, or personal material.
I think we're talking about customer records.
Mhm.
The only person that needs to sign off would be me, and that's fine with me, right?
No, it's
I don't
it's
know who
public.
else is on. This is public, yeah. Hold on, let's see.
It's a little more complicated than that.
Well, can we move it to the end if we're going to go into executive session?
Yeah, we could postpone this to the end.
I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But it was something that was requested to be on the agenda, so I made sure it was there. Leaving not unaware of whether the executive session was going to be required. Chris, water superintendent report.
Sure. Man.
Hang on. Can I ask a question? Sorry, I didn't have my hand up, but there was one thing Angie was going to bring up. And can I do it, Angie, or did you want to?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I had it in my notes, Deb, and it wasn't on the agenda, so I forgot about it. But if you would please go ahead, you're way more, you're the one that told me about it.
Well,
So
it's
if you
just
would say
part of
it.
the water. It's just part of the water clerk world and
It
the state
is.
of life.
Mhm.
We have had in place for maybe about a year now.
Yeah.
The ability for people to pay their water deposits and their sewer deposits by credit card through an agency called gov.card. And simply by me receiving a bill from them this week for one of the other accounts that we use their services for $50, I found out that they have suddenly changed their policy and now are requiring that any accounts that are not accumulating $1,500 or more a month in transactions will be charged $50 a month. And so unfortunately that is going to just kind of bust the bank for us. And I wanted Angie to be able to report that to you and let you know that we're just going to have to terminate that, I believe. I don't think there's going to be any choice about it. And
Wow.
I will look into other credit card processing possibilities. And also we are activating an ACH option on the general fund side. And it's not for this one-time thing, but in my process of getting that set up, I will inquire if it could apply in this situation. And then we'll circle back to you. But for temporarily, until we can resort this, you'll be back to just cash and check payment for deposits.
Oh, boy.
Or
Thank you, Deb. Thank you.
Or-
Thank you for reminding.
not just that, because I just set a set amount and I have it go electronically.
That's not,
That's
this
not
is
the
not,
same thing.
we're not
I know
talking,
it's not
same
the
thing.
same thing, but it's not a case of, people do have that option. If they know about it, they do have that option.
okay, but in fact they don't, because this goes into a different account. It does not go
Oh,
into the
the
water
deposit,
general checking account.
Deposit. Oh, sorry. that's-
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Thank you. Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
important. Sorry, I was unaware of that. All right, Chris.
Yeah, all right, the water loss for this month was 17.66%. I'm very pleased with this percentage. Again, even though it was a few percentages higher this month, it's still excellent. We were able to account for this extra loss from 3 different leaks that occurred this last month. Because we now have a full staff, even though temporary for the moment, we were able to expedite our repairs, saving us thousands of gallons in lost water. We recently were putting in a line extension of a 2-inch main at Cambridge Street project. My men were responsible for the tie-in of an 8-inch main tap, the most dangerous part of the project, with Chris Spanos directing the crew. While Kenny was drilling into the 8-inch main, it split apart, causing water to shoot 40 feet high and flood the ditch in Kenny. No one was hurt. This occurred at 2 p.m. Thanks to quick thinking of Spanos and his crew, they had it under control in minutes. It took them 9 hours to repair and replace this line. And they did it nonstop until everyone had water that night. It worked until 11 p.m. Kenny stayed in the ditch the whole time. It was prepared. He was unbelievable. We owe him a lot of thanks and gratitude for what he did that night. I also acknowledge Chris Spanos and John Benny for going above and beyond the duty. Hey, game changer for us. I recently introduced a different approach of time management, which started implementing just recently. It consists of 3 quick update plan of action meetings, a morning huddle meeting, a midday report, and a 3:30 wrap up. That allows us to plan our day, make improvements, and keep everybody updated. Even if you come in late because of a doctor's appointment, you will still be able to be updated at the 2 other meetings, keeping everybody on the same page. My main question at the end of this meeting is, what can we improve on? And that truly, especially with everything going on right now, and even in this last few days, has been very helpful. On the next item is our OIT application deadline. Was March 31st. We have 20 applicants, including Kenny Mitchell. I believe Barbara Humes and Christy Huddle and I will be looking over applicants. I've already looked over. It looks like we got three possible candidates out of those 20 that were suitable. So we'll get into that. We'll do the interviews and have recommendations to be submitted for the May 10th City Council meeting. Radio reads are still being evaluated, and we have a spot for this, so I'm not even going to do this right now. We'll have a presentation, and they're getting back with me on different packages, which you guys have the packages. I apologize for I was doing real time quotes. I was getting them in. I wasn't planning on getting this far on them, but while I was at it, I just kept going with it, and I hope everybody was able to receive all the data that I got you at the end. They both sent me some stuff, but the next item is a plan of action we are working on for the Elk Run mainline relocation and other distribution projects anticipated for future capital budgets. I'm evaluating the parameters of these projects and team members, and we'll be working with Dave Gusky, our project RPR, to refine our plans. We recently one of the problems that we're gonna, not a problem, It's just an issue in Harper's Ferry is rock. We have rock. And that's going to be a deciding factor on probably a lot of our projects. But on this particular one, it's making us reevaluate the entire where we're going to put this relocation. It looks like we found an excellent solution for it that should save us thousands of dollars. But we're working on that. Chris Alvarez and just a few other people are looking at possibilities and solutions that should be good. So,
Can I ask you a question about that?
sure.
Does that require redrawing the
Not entirely, not entirely, but yeah, he's gonna have to change some things, but he'll be getting back with me on that. So I don't have any more information. They're still looking on if that's the route to go, or if we're gonna or if we're gonna drill right through rock. You know, the only thing is with a road bore, and I've been finding a lot of education on this. Rock, if you drill through rock, it is 3 times as much money as if you drill through regular ground. So if we can avoid rock, let's do it.
Well, how can we avoid it if we have to cross the street no matter what?
Because where the plan was to originally cross, there's rock there. Where we're planning on crossing with the new idea, there's no rock there.
But you still have to go under the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. But the point is getting away from the rock that's on the other side of the street as well.
Okay.
I've got a question. Does it involve, are we still on the easement that we have to do this?
Yes. And the interesting part about this idea is it looks like we're going to be able to line it up right where the creek, right where the line comes out of the creek, and where the tie-in would be in the first place. So actually drill all, instead of just stopping on the other side of the road and digging to the creek, we're going to drill straight through all the way to where it ties in on the other side of the creek. So it will eliminate a lot of digging.
Okay.
And whose land is this pipe actually going on?
Oh, Park Service.
Okay, so we should be careful to
Very
make
careful.
them part of all the communication about that.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And with that project so far, we're still in the perimeters of it. It just moving it is going to require some just some thought on Chris Eckenrose's part. So anyway, any other questions on that while I'm talking about that?
About the Elks Run project? No, not yet.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
One more question. You just mentioned Chris Eckenrode. So what is his connection with that part of the project, since his firm is not doing it, right?
Yeah. So what?
Just curious about that. I'm just
Okay,
curious.
He's offering his services for free of charge to help assist and helping us with getting the bidding process and showing us exactly what needs to be done and actually inspecting the line and making sure everything's okay. So he's literally guiding us with this project, which is very good because it's a very complex project and probably by far the most difficult project out of everything we have. Next to the pump station, but the booster station. Anyway, so I'm very pleased that, and I'm hoping we'll have a lot going on because they'll be working on the plant at the same time and we're gonna hopefully get the road board going sometime, middle of this project. So the biggest conflict we're gonna have is working over top of each other. We'll work around it. We just have to, we got to make sure that, the top priority is obviously taking care of the plant first. Is obviously the number one goal.
Thank you to Chris Eckenrode for that.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We have a lot going on right now, and I'll do it. We are right now working with Alvarez, treatment plant contractor, and redirecting our intake flow so that they can start working on sedimentation basin. At the same time, I'm helping gathering data for possible using a potable temporary filtration system so they can work on the membrane system without disrupting our water service. Basically, we have the technology now, which is so cool, that we're working with United Rentals where we can actually have a potable water filtration system, including actually even mainline pumps to actually pump up to our water tank if need be. This is basically on the spot water filtration. They have the capability of doing 250,000 gallons a day, which will cover us. It's absolutely, right now we're doing 170,000 gallons a day. It's a game changer. So Chris Eckenrow, again, we're working on seeing exactly if this is possible for us. Obviously, talking with the health department, there's a lot to this in order for this to happen. But if it does happen, it changes. It's a big help for us because they'll be able to work on the membrane system and not worry about taking us offline and keeping us going at the same time. So we're really working on that as well. Again, that's just in the beginning phases. That part of the project wouldn't be until probably December. We're thinking at the moment, and these are all just off the wall figures, just top of the head right now. But it's very interesting. Consumer confidence report, you guys just decided for me. We need to decide if you want to put the papers in there. Obviously, I think that's an excellent idea. Just because our customers recently had a rate increase, and obviously they probably want that. So I'm glad you guys decided on that one. In closing, I'm referring to everyone who has worked hard this last year on these projects, from the mayor to the council to the water commission to Deb, Angie, Pat, and my entire staff. And we accomplished a lot this year already. Getting Harpers Ferry's first excavator and utility truck, which recently been titled as Water Force One. We have gotten new tools that required approval and have found a solution to our sludge removal, have fixed countless leaks, and have found and fixed the leak of the decade. Have dropped our water loss to as low as 15%. I'm very proud of all of you. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to our water system.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Obviously we have some other things that I got to add. So again, a lot's going on right now. Yesterday, oh my God, I'm going to forget his name. Todd Grimstead, who is in charge of the apprenticeship program for the West Virginia Rural Water Association. You guys all met him. He was at the Zoom meeting, and we approved the apprenticeship program. Well, he came in. I signed the papers. Kenny Mitchell is officially signed up and Sean agreed as well. You will be getting a packet in your email shortly that we'll give you a list of all the details. It's a pilot study. A lot of ideas are just being thrown around. There's only 6 of us right now, which is really cool. And these guys are going to get one hell of an education. One of the things that he brought up is, you can't transfer your water license. So you can't go from West Virginia to Maryland. You have to retake the test and stuff like that. But if you get trained by the labor board, or the board, or apprenticeship labor board, am I saying that word right? Department of Labor. The Department of Labor apprenticeship program. It's federal, and is recognized by all states. So that's just a foot in the door for Kenny and Sean.
Kenny is the temporary.
At this moment,
Well,
I had no choice. I had no choice. Well, if we decide to and I asked that question, if it doesn't work out, we can cancel anything. So there is nothing etched in stone here.
okay.
Yeah, there's no. I made sure of that.
Okay.
Yeah. The only reason that it even got started was he had to get a definite answer right now, or I would have waited. But he needed a response, because they're getting started with us and 3 other people. They've waited long enough, he said, and he came in especially for Berkeley County Water and for us this time. So
When does this start officially?
he's getting back with me on that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
They basically just needed the paper signed.
Okay. Are you done with your report?
I think so. Let me see. I'm sorry. There was just so much that happened this week. So the plant is giving me a fit right now. Just to let you know, we are no longer in auto. We are now officially in manual. We may be in auto in the future, but for right now, we're working in. I had Tony the electrician come in today, and he eliminated the problem that I was having, which was rattling the starter motor. So I had the main problem that I was worried about that was possibly causing damage to the motor stopped. So I'm out of the danger zone now. But unfortunately, that puts me in manual for now. So I literally have to run the plant entirely on timers from my smartphone, or Spanos has to. But it's doable, and our new plant is coming on its way. I think the old plant knows it's on its way out, and it's just giving me a fit for the hell of it. So that's all I got.
On the radio read meters, how have you made any headway on any additional vendors besides Census and Neptune?
Yes, I have. I'm Master Meter. I'm getting in contact with them as well. So I got the name and contact names. I just need to. I'm going to set up exactly the same thing I did with Census and Neptune. I'm going to do with Master Meter.
Okay.
Have we seen anything from Master Meter?
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? We've actually used Master Meter. So a while back, apparently, your guys, John Paul, apparently tried to use Master Meter, and I have a Master Meter at my plant. Actually, I have several Master Meters when Master Meter first came out with its radio read program. So they were actually going to try to implement a radio read program 14, 15 years ago.
Where are these people located?
You know, I out way out of state.
Okay, they're not local. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. You know, I'm doing this because we want 3 people. You know, and I understand that, but
Well, I cannot I can't really comprehend all the different pieces you've sent us about Neptune,
I-
about census, and
It's a lot of data, but at the same time, at any given moment that you want, these people are willing to talk to us, to talk to you guys. Any questions you have, it's a lot of data. I've spent hours with these people, hours, and I'm still, you know. Do
it
you want me to
seems,
start? Do you want me to start on the radio read or talk, Bill? I can if you want,
What do you
or do we
need?
got something else first?
Well, I mean, we're still in the fact finding stage.
Yeah.
And getting some pricing. The reason we're getting more than just the two vendors we've talked to so far is because of the price of this project. I mean, this is a major infrastructure project. Whether we break it up over time or whether we do it all at once, it's major infrastructure, and so we have to follow, the statutory and regulatory bid requirements in order to implement this. And there are quite a few vendors. In answer to your question, Barbara, about where they're located, none of these vendors that we've looked at so far are local. We're dealing with resellers.
Yes.
who have a West Virginia presence so far. Now, I don't know about Master Meter. I assume most of these vendors have resellers in the region, if not in the state. I think the closest one is the core guys in Martinsburg.
Yes, they're the ones that give us, yes.
And then the census guys are like a couple hours away, the closest personnel they have. But they have a West Virginia presence as well. And so I think what we need to, once we get to really digging into this stuff, is looking at the broad range of, and it is a lot to digest, but it's amazing what they're able to do now with automated meter reading, or AMR. Whether we're reading them from a single, from a tower that just takes the data from the meters without having to drive around, or whether we do a drive-by system, the kind of granular data that these companies are able to give us now with their meters gives us so many more options for efficiency, finding efficiencies, capturing revenue, providing customer accuracy, and solving problems for customers in a much more rapid way. And with some of them, the software actually allows you to geographically start to identify where you have a leaking problem based on your numbers, as opposed to physically going out and looking.
Yeah, the only problem with that one is it's a $600 meter.
well, I imagine are there things that can be added on? Like, it sounded to me like there was a lot of bells and whistles and some of these. You can pick and choose and.
Yeah, so if is it okay to speak?
Sure.
Okay, so with I won't lie. The other day with what was his name, Rod, he sold us with the census was just the bells and whistles. I actually spent time with this guy Cody last night, or was it last night or the night before? Actually last night, and we caught a guy stealing water, who was literally, we deducted it through that he was taking his meter out like every night for an hour, and we were wondering why. And it turns out that we went to a satellite in real time, and it was actually stealing water as we spoke, or as we were watching this. He actually had the meter pulled because it was alerting us of that. We went to the satellite pictures, zoomed in on his house, realized he had a jacuzzi. So apparently he has a leaky jacuzzi, and he's taking his meter out to fill up his jacuzzi and putting it back in. So I mean, that's how crazy that you can deduct with this information. It was really neat to actually watch this. So,
And was that just a coincidence somewhere in the?
well, basically, we went to, I think it was Jacksonville, Florida. We went there because he knew that people would be stealing water because it's starting the warm season, and people are using water for in warmer climates for watering their gardens and filling their swimming pools and taking care of business. So they're taking their meters out and putting jumpers in there so they won't get caught, or have high water usage while they're filling their pools and stuff. So he went to an area where it was a warmer climate, and we found in this one water system, we found, I think it was 121 people that were stealing water.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you look at, I like census. I love, when you talk to them, their training packages are phenomenal. I was really pleased with everything, and until we get to the price, and the price. Sorry.
Does the price include all the meter installations, or is it just a?
Yes.
at
Oh,
a
no. We're actually putting our own meters in.
Okay, so this just,
Yeah, so if you look at the cost of the tower meter, because let's face it, we want to go tower. So let's see if we can do it. And if you look at the cost, where are we at?
the census tower?
Mm-hmm. The census tower. If you look at the base cost for them, and this is including 840 meters. The total cost for this project is $314,551.
Oh yeah, I see down at the bottom of the page. Yeah,
So
everything there that they cost out is just.
it's
expensive.
high. The other thing that's high is the yearly annual fee, which is $8,240 for the R&R, which is the nuts and bolts. That's the one that is the part of the software that you need to get all the good data for the for all the fancy stuff. So you need it for billing, you need it for your graphs, for any of the customer stuff.
I guess we would have to figure, would we really be gaining by using this if you have to pay $8,000 a year?
Well, it's not just 8,000. With them, you also have another $7,000 annual fee. So you have a total every year of $15,000. Now,
Just a quick, Chris,
go-
I'm gonna stop you right there. Hold on. Deb has her hand up, and I want to say something real quick before that.
but
We're looking.
I was just going to say the thing is that if you look at it as that being a meter reader, you're saving a lot of money anyway. So it's the cost of what it would save you on meter reading.
It might we have to do an analysis because it could be a break even or a loss.
I think we're looking at this right now, Chris. What we really need is to see what's available. I'm not looking as much for a price evaluation at this point, because for an infrastructure project of this size, with the kind of functionality and scalability that these products have, and the kind of ancillary costs that we haven't even anticipated. Some of these meters will require us to redig meter pits, some won't.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Chris, just wait.
Okay.
And some of that functionality is pretty and won't do anything for us. Some of that functionality will enable us to be considerably more efficient in a number of different ways, saving both human capital and, capital outlay for errors and things like that. We're going to need to evaluate these from like an ROI 5-year standpoint, not from a upfront cost alone standpoint, because what they can deliver for us over time against our current revenue and what we're able to capture with our current system versus what we're able to capture over time with the new system, that may be different, and that's a more reliable CapEx evaluation than looking at just the upfront pricing. And we haven't even begun to negotiate with these folks or to ask for incentives to be included in the proposals and things like that. So talking about making a decision or evaluating them simply on upfront pricing without all of that minutia in also overlaid is a bit premature. Deb.
Okay, well, I don't know
Wait,
how.
Chris, Deb.
So I agree with what Bill is saying. And in addition, I think I heard you say that we're going to have a third participant in the bidding process. So the bidding process isn't finished. And I feel that it's premature to be discussing details of pricing and approaches publicly when essentially, I mean, you don't have a formal bid thing going on, but you're expecting another bidder to participate.
Yeah, you're right.
And I just don't think that this is the time. That's my opinion. I know I'm not part of the officially organization here, but I am concerned about that.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. You're absolutely right. I was just gonna say you're absolutely right. There's a lot to consider. I can I talk about what I like on for census and what I like on.
Let's wait until we've got all of the stuff in front of us. I wanted to have a slightly higher altitude picture of that than this at this juncture, because there's just too many moving parts and too much information we don't know. But thank you very much for your hard work in getting these together.
Part of the reason that let me just say one more thing about the 3 bids. Part of the reasons that you do 3 bids is that it opens up your eyes in a whole nother way when you get that third one. And what you think you liked, you may shift and juggle. So, rather than retracting things that you've already said publicly, I think we're in a better place if we evaluate each system once we have all the information.
Okay. How about if I get all 3 people to give their presentation again for you guys to ask your questions. I mean, I do know that those proposals are probably pretty much where their bottom line is going to be. So they're willing. I'm just saying they're willing to talk.
I don't think we need to revisit the sales pitch with the whole commission. I think once we get to a point where we have real live bids to review, and we've gone through that process appropriately, at that point we may bring representatives in to talk to us, to give us to respond to specific ROI related questions once we've digested all of the stuff.
Do we have an RFP developed so that all of the potential bidders could respond to the same thing?
No. Well, we did with Chris Eckenrose, so I can get that. We were basically with Chris Eckenrose when we were doing it. We already had decided on the census iPearl back then. So this had already been picked out. So
I'm just asking if we have an RFP established for the. On a different track.
Since that contract didn't come to fruition, I think we can probably pick something useful out of that. But I think that's something we should pull together.
Okay. I think we've discussed this enough, then we don't really have
Yes.
anything more.
I just want to say one last thing is that just you do want to make sure that all your vendors do have the same piece of paper that
Yeah.
they're bidding from. Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question. I'm not going to prolong this discussion, but I want to make a suggestion that I know, I hear you that you're still on the fact finding part of the mission. But what would be helpful is if a report is prepared that has, 3 columns for the 3 vendors. What are the important points that you have decided are the most important things for each radio read program to have? How does each one measure up on those very important things? I'm sure price is one of them. And just a report that compares the 3 would be very helpful, because it is hard to absorb it piecemeal through attachments on emails. I agree with Barbara that it's although I appreciate very much all of you keeping us in on the loop. That's
It's a lot. We can spend, if we need to, we can spend, we have all the time in the world. I mean, so we can spend months on this to get this right.
Well, that's why I'm saying maybe after the fact-finding tour, that a report can be written that we can all read that reflects your thinking.
Yeah. And I apologize. I assumed that we were, basically we're going to be able to decide just because of the way that it was done in the, already. Like, for example, I mean, Shepherdstown, frankly, the reason they picked Census was because that was their vendor. That's why they used them. Charlestown, same thing. They used Hawthorne. They didn't go out there and they used them because that's the meter they've been using, not because they were, they were sold on the service that was provided by the.
Okay,
All right.
I think we need to move on.
We need to move on. Deb, did you have one thing you wanted to add? You're muted.
One final thing, I completely concur with Laurel's approach. This is the same approach that we use with any bidding situation that we bring before council. We have a spreadsheet that has columns. You don't have to do it in a spreadsheet form, but at some point it'll get into a spreadsheet form that says, these are the points and we compare them across the board that way. And it's a great way to start, and I highly recommend it. That's all I want to say.
All right.
I like that.
Don't go very far.
Yep.
Then we've got review of financials.
Yep. Are we on that now?
Yes.
Okay. So your financials are through February. That gives you 66% of your year. Your billing revenues are falling in at 64%. So that's right on target. Your total income is falling in at 65%. Again, right on target. And this report that you have is as of your first revision, not your second revision, which was just approved at council. And so there are a few little aberrations in your expense area that kind of are a little bit out of kilter. Some of them have to do with annual purchases and not monthly purchases. So that's why they're off. But for the most part, the things that are out of whack are adjusted in your next revision, primarily your plant materials and supplies and things like and the assessments, I think, was the other area. Your overall expenses are at 52%, so that's good because we're 65% of the year through.
So that means our expenses are lower than anticipated.
Yeah.
For the moment.
For the moment. Yeah.
I thought we had once a contractual line item and I didn't see that. Is that under?
I missed what you said. What was the line item?
We had a contractual line item. Is that under maintenance of?
Well, we do. We have contracting for plant, and we have contracting for a maintenance of meters, and those are not. They're a little bit. If you look on the second page, you've got 631.4 plant maintenance contract services,
Yeah.
and then we also have. I think we have one under maintenance of mains.
We used to, and I just didn't see it right off.
There's a few little details that get squished up on this particular format. So if you're looking for something in particular, I can get back to you on that.
I see those 2 line items. I just didn't notice contractual service. Okay, thank you.
Yep. And final note for planning on your finances, we need to get fiscal 22 budget to USDA by June 1. So that means we're going to be working pretty hard here in the next couple of weeks, pulling that budget together to get that approved by the end of May, all the way through council level. So that's going to be a lot. We're going to probably be doing some, best guessing, but that's really what budgets are for. And we'll just roll with that and adjust as we need to through the year. Anything else for me?
Do we need to?
You can just accept the financials. I mean, they've been approved by council, so you're.
Okay, well then I don't see that we really need to. It's already
No
been.
action needed.
No action required. All right, source water protection. We've already had our guest speaker, and as far as I know, we've taken care of the proposal, taking action on the proposals he mentioned. Is there anything else, Barbara?
No, I'll just follow through as we discussed.
Okay.
No.
All right. Water system improvement project update. Chris kind of covered that we're working on potable water solution to make the switch to membrane filtration as unobtrusive as possible. Is there anything else?
Other than today, the signs. Oh, did I mute myself?
No, I said the signs went up. I saw that.
Yeah, the signs went up, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fabulous. Both
yeah.
places. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Eli did a great job putting up. He literally has been here all week. He spent 3 days getting.
Is that our on-site guy?
Yeah, he's out. Eli is the superintendent. He's the general. He's the one that runs the show. So great guy. He just really knows his stuff. But he put the signs up today. He's a hands-on guy, that's for sure.
All right. Old business, discussion and action on interview process for open OIT position. I don't know that we require any action. I guess we're going to be starting an interview or review of the applications received and then a culling of that for interviews.
I need to find out what our time frame is. And Chris, how much do you want?
I want to
materials that we used before. Do you want?
I want to do the exact same thing that we did. And I was hoping you had the same sheets that we used before. I thought that process worked really well last time.
So you want me to pull that together?
Yeah, yes. And I'm going to need times that you guys are available.
Should we pick a time now?
That would be great.
When does our 90 days end?
So he started on the 9th of March. So that would be April, May, June 9th.
Okay.
That would give us plenty of time if we have this decided by this next time. I'd give us a month to spare.
Should we need to let Angie know about notifying the selected interviewees and setting up times, and we need to know when you, me, and Christy can meet to.
Yeah, last time it seemed to work out okay for me to just go ahead and call. I ended up contacting the guys myself. It seemed to work out. But if Angie, if you want to do it, you're more than welcome to.
It's not that I want to do it. I'll do
Yeah.
it if I'm requested to do
absolutely,
it.
yeah.
But if you want to do it yourself, go for it, because you know your schedule better than I do.
Exactly, and it'd be
So-
up going back and forth on email. So
Well,
I mean, it's up.
you can take it. Go for it.
Okay.
Okay, I think the first step would be for you, me, and Christie, the interview committee, to set a date soon to select and discuss the potential candidates.
So I would prefer either a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Is that possible?
That's Mondays are my best day.
Mondays? Okay.
Monday really well for me too.
Okay, so how about we start? I'm looking at the calendar now. Let's look at a calendar.
How about this coming Monday, May 3rd?
This month, okay. You know what? That sounds fine. Okay.
Okay, what,
I mean, I'm okay with the three candidates that we have. If you look at the interview,
well, you need to yeah.
if you look at the job applicants, there's really only three that.
Well, let's
choose that.
discuss this on May the 3rd. What time is a good time? Morning, afternoon, or late afternoon? Christy, what about you? What's your schedule look like?
I'm free. I'm free.
Okay, do you want to say 9 o'clock then?
Hmm.
10 o'clock.
Tired.
I'm just making sure that I don't have anything. I don't have my schedule in front of me. I got everything at the shop. Yeah. Okay. I know that's early for Christy. So you want 10 o'clock?
We could do 10 or 11.
10 looks good.
Okay.
If could you guys give me a second time? I can't do it Tuesday.
3 o'clock on Monday, or
Okay, 3 o'clock on Monday.
Sounds good.
All right.
that would be the alternate time. Okay.
All right. Pull my agenda back up.
Will we meet at the plant?
Yes.
Okay. The only other business we have is new business discussion and action on recruiting and or notifying a Bolivar representative that there's now a seat for them on the Water Commission.
Yay.
Let's
Do we-
see, they have their meetings. They have the first Monday of the month, I believe, is when they have their town council meeting. So if I'm correct on that, their town council meeting would be, is it Monday or Tuesday when they have their council meeting? I know it's the first.
I want to say it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, it might be a Tuesday. Let me see if I can.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday? May the 4th. So what do you think that we should, or I could go to their meeting, or someone could go to their meeting and announce that our ordinance now allows a Bolivar representative?
I mean, my guess is they're already aware, but Yeah,
It would be, if nothing else, a courtesy, but it would.
oh, yeah, no,
More than that, it would be official.
yeah. Let their town council know.
And they would have to know that any potential representative could apply by submitting a letter of interest to the town council.
Do we want them to submit it directly to the town council, or do we want them to submit it to us?
You could submit it to us and then we make a recommendation to the town council, because we may get more than one application.
Right. So that's, I mean, either of those options, but when I only know my experience. When I came through, I first came to the Water Commission and then went to the town council. Once I survived the gauntlet with the Water Commission. So.
Yes, you did submit your application to the Water Commission.
Yes, and I think that giving us an opportunity to bring some people in and talk to them and that sort of thing, gives us an opportunity to see, how it'll all work out. Because we got a lot going on.
Yes, we do.
But if their town council's any indication, there's a lot of positive energy over there for helping, and that was pretty exciting to see.
Yeah. Okay.
Should I just write a letter and circulate it and see if everybody thinks it's okay and then send it? I mean, I don't know how.
Well, I was just thinking going to the Bolivar Town Council, making and announcing to them this new ordinance change, and then advising them on how to submit a letter of interest to the Water Commission, what would follow. Would we want to, and you're suggesting that the Water Commission would do the, call it an interview?
Yeah, bring them in. And I mean, it adds a step, but we'll be the people they end up working with. So give them a chance to, one last chance to bail out after meeting all of us. So, but to see if it's a good fit and, see, that way they can come get to know us a little bit. And it's as valuable for a meet and greet as it is for, having another step in the process. But I think, tell them that, to send us their letter of interest, and then we'll go from there. I mean, I don't think that'll take very long.
Okay. Shall I do this as a member of the as a member of the town council, meeting with their town council?
If you'd like, I've been going to their town council meetings.
Oh, okay.
With Chris. So, it's familiar territory. Technically, until that ordinance change happened, they were my constituents.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then they probably, you all probably keep them updated on the water project. Is that true, Chris?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Well, then maybe the three of us could go, or Chris and I could go.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, to be honest, the more of us that they see, the better.
Right.
I think it would be good for you to go to see, how enthusiastic they are about, like they were really hot to help us create a, communication system to get out, emergency outages information to their, businesses and things like that. And they wanted better information about that, but they didn't approach us with they were mad at us about it. They were like, how do we help? And that was very refreshing. So it's pretty exciting to get to go and meet all of them. And Sandy Mara's on the town council there. So she's a familiar face for Waterworks folks. So it was, I think it'd be great. If you want to go, Barbara, I will be more than happy to go with you. And I'm sure Chris would be too.
No. Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, so that's Tuesday, May the 4th. I guess and do they have theirs at 7 or 6?
7.
7. Yeah.
It's by
Oh,
Zoom
wait a second.
anyway.
Is it 7:30? Is it, Bill? Is it 7:30?
Yes, it's 7:30. It's
I
by
know.
Zoom anyway, I think. So I mean,
that's
anybody
true.
can go.
Yeah, they do both. There's an in-person option, or there used to be, even during the pandemic. But yeah, they do a Zoom and they'll send out an
Oh,
invite.
okay. Well, then we'll get on there. The last time you went, did you do Zoom or did you go in person?
Zoom.
Okay, so we'll do that. Is that all right, Chris?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes. We do pledge allegiance there too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a it's a different kind of meeting. But it's nice. It's good to, I don't know. It's the kind of community outreach we should be doing. So
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Colin, you're aware of what we're talking about, that we have officially added a seat on our water commission that for a Bolivar representative.
I've inferred that from the conversation, yes.
Okay.
It's-
Yeah.
and it makes perfect sense to me, right?
Yeah, and then we will continue to have another seat for the water customers who are outside of the municipality of Bolivar or Harpers Ferry, and that will continue to be Bill Robinson.
That sounds good. Bill's a good representative for him.
Yeah.
thanks. I represent the frontier.
Okay, so that's all I have to say.
Thanks, Barbara.
One question about that. So that's just customers, or is there?
Just
somebody-
customers within the water service district area.
Okay,
Well, and if they live in Bolivar, then they are customers, or they're very dry. And for me, it's we have a sizable chunk of customers that are on the periphery of this area that are our customers, but really just live in the county. They're not in a municipality.
Bolivar Heights, Cavalier Heights,
That sort of thing.
AOA.
Yeah. So, well, with that, I guess that's where my agenda ends.
Can I bring something up? I just wanted to, could you guys actually help me with exactly the right questions you want me to do as far as the radio read in the future? Or can you get somebody to show me what you'd like?
Sure, we can talk about that. Yes, we're not going to do that now.
Well,
Right.
of course not. But yeah, if I'm going forward and doing the research, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it the way that you want it done.
Okay. All right. Do we have, Deb, do we have any public comment out there?
No.
We haven't really adjourned yet. We're going to go into executive session.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Okay.
So let me explain about executive session.
Yes, please.
All right, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna send you, whoever's gonna go into executive session, I'm gonna send you an email for another Zoom meeting. You'll pick up that email and you'll click on that link, which will automatically, you will automatically leave this meeting when you click on that other link. And once everybody gets into that meeting, I'm gonna silence this meeting. I'm gonna test it on my YouTube running over there to make sure that everything is silenced, and then you can carry out your meeting. Do you need me in this meeting? I'm assuming you don't. So I will also, I mean, unless you tell me otherwise, I will silence myself. And then when you're done, if I'm not participating in the meeting, someone, Bill, if you can just text me,
Okay.
let me know. And then what'll happen is you will leave, you'll just go back to your original email that you got you into this meeting, and you will click back on that link and it'll take you back into this meeting.
So we're essentially leaving this meeting right now, exiting. Okay.
Yep. So give me a minute here to send you the email, and the Water Commission and Angie and Chris.
So we have to have a motion to go into
Yeah,
executive.
you guys do all that, and I'm gonna send you your email.
So Bill, ask for a motion for executive session, and I'll read the number.
Okay.
I move that we go into executive session for Barbara, the
Okay.
number.
Okay, for West Virginia Code 6-98-4B, little b in parentheses, 2, no, I'm sorry, 698-4B, 6. To discuss material, the disclosure of which would constitute an unwarranted invasion of an individual, meaning our customer's privacy, such as records, data, reports, recommendations, or other personal material.
Second.
We need a second.
Yeah, I just seconded.
Yes. Okay.
I moved it.
I'm gonna say good night.
Okay, Colin, thank you for
Thanks for coming.
time with us and helping us ask questions and everything. Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you all next month. You're doing
Okay.
great work. Keep it up. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, your email is coming to you now.
Okay, shall we hit the leave button?
No, you're just gonna go to that email and click on that new meeting
Okay,
link.
and on the way back in, we click, on the way back in, we click on,
This meeting link that you're already in.
okay.
Because I'm not gonna close this meeting down. It's gonna keep running in the
So
background.
all I gotta do is just go back in here. Okay, no problem.
Okay, I'm going in
All
now.
right,
Hey, it says join new meeting, leave and join.
leave and join.
I didn't get the point. What are we supposed to be doing?
So we're gonna go into executive session, and that is going to be held in a separate Zoom meeting.
So what do I do?
So I just sent you an email to your LG Drake
Oh,
mail,
okay.
okay? And you need to go and just log into that meeting, just as if you would be logging into this meeting. It's
And
gonna
you're
be,
saying I should not log out, I should not leave this meeting?
you don't need to. It'll just automatically, take you to the other meeting when you click on the other meeting.
You know, the only problem is I don't think my computer can handle. I don't think it can handle 2 different Zoom meetings.
It's not going to, you're just gonna, you can only be in one. That's the whole point. So when you click on the other one, it puts you in that one. And it closes you out of this one.
Yeah, I'm already having trouble.
Did you found the email? Okay, are you guys all there? Okay.
I would like to take maybe a 2-minute break.
Okay. Okay. I have to do some screen sharing and we're still waiting on Laurel, so.
Okay, I'm gonna step away.
Okay. Okay, I am sharing the screen. I'm sharing the wrong screen. Now. Quiet. Quiet. Oh God, whoever watches this video is very embarrassing. Oh, here comes Laura. Just to be safe, I'm gonna go out in the other room. Quiet. Whoever watches this video is very embarrassing. Be safe, I'm gonna go out in the other room. Quiet. Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
Howdy, howdy.
So, no, I'm glad we did what we did personally. I think, anyhow,
Did what?
went into executive session.
Yeah, just so we don't embarrass the shit out of ourselves. There wasn't any basis for executive. Sorry.
Okay, so you're live now.
All right, thank you. Anyway,
No, I'm glad we did what we did personally.
okay, yeah, you said that. What?
No,
So-
I did not say it again. She was playing a recording.
Oh. I was like, heard you the first time.
Sorry, I have to keep that one on so I make sure there's no noise getting to the YouTube, but it worked.
I'm very entertained now. Okay, so Angie and Chris Barbara coming back, or
Yeah, I just texted Angie. I'm trying to get Barb now. Hey. What about oh, Barb's there. Huh, I have been trying. Oh, there's Angie. Okay. All right. And Chris Steyer, did somebody
Oh,
waiting on him?
okay. So Angie, do you want to take a stab at a letter, or do you want me to? How do you want to do this?
well, I feel
Can we exit
that
executive session? We have not exited executive session.
Oh, we have to.
Hmm.
Well, you're in public session now.
There was
Okay, so now
executive
we have
session.
We by a claim leave executive session, so we can say we did that, but we have to move to get into normal session. To make a motion to.
I so move. I so move.
I so second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Hey,
regular session. Anyway, you were saying, Angie?
I was saying, to be completely honest, I would feel more comfortable knowing the knowledge that you have with legalese and being extremely professional. I would appreciate it if you would do it, but I will do it and then send it to you as a draft if you'd like.
Okay, I'll take a stab at it and I'll send it to you, because while I may be able to wield some, I can make it as confusing as I want to. At the end of the day,
There you go.
my language is useless without your knowledge, and you have the firsthand knowledge of the situation. So I'll put something together, but I'll need you to make sure that I'm not, off base.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need to know, is this letter going to go along with the next April bills that are coming up?
Okay.
The whammies.
Let's get
May I
the
may I
letter first.
clarify what
Barbara.
the intent- may I clarify what the intent of this letter is? Because we don't
Okay.
want to.
So they have requested that, they've contacted Angie and stated that they're concerned that we might have overcharged them. And our response, will you check and, see if you've overcharged us? Our response needs to be something along the lines of, well, due to COVID and other, accessibility issues, we do have some, confusion in our billings, our books about the status of all of your meters. We're going to review that, investigate, and return with an accurate picture of your current current state billing, whatever. I won't say it like that, but that's what we'll say.
Mm.
And with the gently stated understanding that the number could be higher, not lower, after we complete this review. And
Yes.
so, but and the emphasis being that, due to accessibility concerns, and COVID's a good sort of cover for them, but based on the incident report, we've got meters that haven't been read since March 2019, and COVID, that was some stealthy COVID. So,
Right.
Okay,
So-
well,
so, and without getting confrontational with them, we need to let them know that we're on it, folks. Thanks for bringing this to our attention, and it might be higher.
could I also suggest that the Water Commission takes a look at the letter also?
Oh, yeah. No, I'll circulate it. I'm not going to just send it off. Everybody get a chance to look at it.
And, under whose signature?
I can set it up for everybody. I can set it up for Angie. We can come up with a mascot. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Thinking about it. Be thinking.
Angie, who do you think they would find the letter best coming from? You, because they know you?
No,
I think
no, I know my counterpart. This came from like her boss's boss's boss.
Okay. So,
And-
so I need to write it for the
and-
mayor?
And you asked,
was
and
thinking
you,
so.
and I was gonna say, let's put it in the terms that she put it into me. She says, I'm a GS5, he's a GS11.
Oh,
Oh,
There you go.
well, I'm
So-
just an unpaid volunteer, so I don't know that
Well,
I.
it could come from the mayor.
Okay, I'd be delighted to draft it for the mayor. I mean, whoever it will be
Yeah.
most effective, however it will be most helpful for you in resolving this situation, Angie, that's who will sign it.
That sounds
yeah,
great to me.
I have no problem signing it too. So if you want to take, put me down on the responsible party, man. I didn't start this mess, but I am definitely part of it now. So I'll take full responsibility.
It's not that kind of letter.
No, but like I
Uh,
said, one of these bills, like I said, it's gonna be massive.
well, and we need to get our, we need to clean up this accessibility issue. We need to make sure that we get everything with them current. And this is a good time to do that. Down the road, hopefully, some automation will help relieve some of these problems, but we can't count on that right now. And to be fair, if we're going to be feeding, radio read data directly into Koozie someday in the, sparkling future, then we need to make sure Koozie's clean. You know what I mean?
No, that was part of
So-
the process. Yeah, that was
So-
definitely part of the process there.
So, but we'll get this letter done, and then we'll formulate a plan to resolve these issues that we promise in the letter to take care of. And then, their bill is going to be what their bill is going to be. And, at that point, we can talk with them about resolving accessibility so that they don't get bills like this anymore and that kind of thing. And we need to make sure that with our own in-house review that we don't have anybody that's been saying they've, been going out and, oh, I can't get to it. Some of that could be on us too. And we need to make sure that we don't give them a hard time for things that were us. But the accessibility thing needs to be sort of centered in that, because that's been a problem. And, the Park Service has got a lot of stuff to keep track of. So,
I got a question.
sure.
So suppose these readings come through this week and you could actually put them in and they could be on the May 1st bill that's being mailed out. Do we want to withhold the NPS bills so that we can analyze that before? We can still send the letter out and say we're reviewing it, and all that, but do we want to hold back the NPS bills until we have had a chance to analyze them?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Is that hard for you, Angie, to do that, to hold back just NPS bills?
Well, I mean, it's not hard for me, but the federal government, it's a big wheel, and once it gets moving, it's kind of hard to stop it.
So,
Because then the person I send my invoices to, she's going to be like, where's my bills? And then if I tell her, well, we're holding on to them, then her boss wants to know, where are the bills? Why haven't you paid them? You see what I'm saying? There's this huge
Do we
trickle
have
down.
like a few days leeway in there to send it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And,
if it
and that
just
is
gave
why
us a
I'm
few-
saying,
Yeah, if it gave us just say 3 more days and we didn't send it out May 1st. Of course, we really got to get these readings, which we don't
Yeah,
know when we're going to get them.
The holdup with the readings is Larry. Spanos will be in tomorrow morning and Friday. I'm gonna be there tomorrow as well. Hopefully we can knock out some more of this. I wish I could give you more information.
No, I understand.
I was in the middle of other things today, so he was working very hard at trying to get this done. I can tell you that, and he was exhausted when he left.
Well, yeah, I understand that. No, I
but
agree.
Laurel,
I agree with you, Angie.
this is what I'm saying. Their May bill is going to be where they're going to be like, whoa, what is going on? What
okay.
just happened?
So because it's gonna trigger the government's red alert if we don't send them, they don't get their stuff when they kind of expect it. We just won't hold it very long, but we should.
Yeah, I can drag it a few days. That's a few days isn't a problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and at that point, if we haven't figured it out, it's gonna be on us anyway.
Amen.
So okay. We got you.
Right?
Please, you promise you got me.
That sounded
We
awesome.
got you.
Man. That sounded awesome. Bill, I'm always amazed at your wording, man. I am, man. You
Okay.
got it. You
All
got
right.
it
All
down.
right, so can we adjourn soon?
Please, I've not eaten dinner yet, so.
Oh my gosh. I
I
have,
haven't
I'm chewing on it.
I have not eaten a thing.
Did
Man.
you just make a motion to
I
adjourn?
move that we adjourn.
I second.
Thank
All
you,
in favor?
Christy.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Good night, guys.
Y'all have a good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you.